Hi, I'm going to show you how you can make your session more accessible to more people. My name is Sauter. I'm deaf since my birth. I'm using a cochlear implant, which is essentially bionic ears, and I live in Switzerland. So at first, I just want to show you why you want to do this and what kind of impact you will have, and of course, how you can do it. So why should you care? WHO actually estimates that more than 5% worldwide have hearing loss in some form that needs to be addressed with a hearing aid, cochlear implant, or another aid. Over 1 billion people worldwide are at risk of having a hearing loss because they are exposed to too loud music or too loud working environments like a jackhammer or on airports with airplanes and stuff like that. So what is a hearing loss? Hearing loss is not something that is clearly defined. It's actually quite varying, much like the eyesight, basically. Also, the older you get, the less good you actually hear, basically. But generally speaking, if you have a hearing loss of about 20 decibel, which is a bit lower than a whisper, basically, then you are already having a hearing loss. So, and also, like I said before, it can be acquired from birth, or it can be acquired late in life. For example, because you have an accident, the car crash, for example, with a fracture in the skull, can cause a hearing loss. Or if you need a medication, drugs, so that may save your life, but damage your hearing, basically, that is also a possibility. So actually, it's quite more than 5% worldwide, obviously, that have a hearing loss. So your impact is quite huge. And if you, for example, use closed captions, then you relieve hard of hearing people, even if they hear similarly or better than I do, basically, or even if they are using sign language. Most of those people actually can also read. By the way, I am not able to use sign language because I never learned it. For abstract talks, actually, missing words or realizing they misunderstood something, it's a bit harder because, of course, if it's abstract, you can't just fill the blanks, basically. You cannot just find out you misunderstood something. It's a bit harder. And keep in mind, not just people with hearing loss actually can profit from it. It's also people that are not so used to or not so exposed to English language. So if they read something, actually, it also makes them helping to understand you better. And of course, if something goes wrong with maybe you mispronounce it, something like maybe like I do at the moment, because I'm not a native speaker of English, but I'm a German native speaker. So actually, it can also help people to understand it better because it gets kind of corrected with the captioning. So generally speaking, what you can do is make sure that your face is visible. The better it's visible, the better it is also to lip read, for example. If people do lip read or just also nonverbal expressions, if you have just shadows in your face, basically, that kinds of remains of a witness program, basically, then of course you can't see it. So it's not so accessible for people that are depending on the face. Also make sure that your lips are visible. If you talk like this is neither a good practice for anyone because of course it muffles your sound first. It doesn't look nice for people. And if you tend to look away, for example, because maybe you have another screen, for example, this is also not very good because of course your mouth is not going to be visible then. Well, if you have the possibility, please use captions. A lot of algorithms, like YouTube, for example, prefer captions because it captures the topic better, basically. So you have a ranking within YouTube, for example, that actually can push you up on the ranking. If you do not have the possibility to use captions, or maybe your host cannot provide it for some reason, then you have also the possibility to use captions that is being provided by PowerPoint. You can see here, if you go to slideshow, for example, then you can have the subtitle settings here and switch it on. Then you have to make sure that at least some, well, let's say average quality of captioning is available to the audience. If you use Microsoft Teams, for example, then you might not use it because Microsoft Teams have an inbuilt possibility of subtitles. It's still a good practice, though, to use captions because not everyone knows about this possibility of Microsoft Teams, or let's say Google Meeting or Zoom. They also have captionings. Zoom, though, you have, I believe, to be a paying member to be using captioning. So that was about it. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. There's the channels you can reach out to me on my blog, my Twitter account, or just email, or via LinkedIn. Just reach out to me. I'll be willing to help you, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you a lot.